What's up, y'all? This is Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 7, Episode 13, I believe. And the link to the full episode will be down below in the description box. Hopefully, it will be available by the time I post it. If it's not available, it will say review at the top. Alright? So, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. This episode was kind of boring. And I say it's kind of boring because I had to watch some of it again to remember what the hell had happened. Like, it was only certain things that I remember going on in this episode. Nothing excited me, okay? The only part I really wanted to see was the Candy part and the Claudia and Portia part. Okay, nothing really excited me. So let's get into this. First, we have Kenya Moore. And since we ain't got much to talk about on this episode, we're going to also talk about Kenya Moore on last week's Celebrity Apprentice when she got that ass kicked off. And we're going to talk about what she did. Kenya goes to meet with Roger Bob, okay? Because remember, they're trying to do some TV shows together. She comes up with some ideas. First is about 3 brown sisters. One of them is married to a white man, and they're supposed to be real successful. It almost sounds like what is that? The 5 White Sisters or whatever. And then this other idea that she had for a TV show was talking about, it's kind of like based on my life. Okay, I have an idea about a show. It's this young lady. She is, very ambitious. She's fabulous. She said some shit about twirl. I'm so sick of twirl. I'm sorry, yeah, Team Twirl. No offense. I'm so sick of it. I know y'all probably gonna don't come for me. All right. Um, she starts talking about how she has this lady hating on her. Okay, it's kind of like a transgender. Her name is No No, and she's a stripper. She always dance on the pole. She old big 6'4" type dude, and he was like, "Oh, okay. Do you think that you have anybody in mind to play that character?" And she's like, "A man." And then she was like, there is another character. Her name is Athena, and she is, what did she say? She works at a mortician, and she's a preacher, and she does this and she does that, but she's really fake. And he was like, "Okay, who do you have in mind for her?" She's like, a dwarf, anybody from some dwarfs." And then the last one, she was like, her name is Dee Dee. Okay, now she's a little ditzy. She doesn't know anything about the Underground Railroad. She thinks that the Underground Railroad involved a real train. And I was like, Kenya, baby, I would not take you serious. This is a business meeting. Come correct. You are coming on some crap about what's going on with you and your housewives, okay? He knows his woman is on this show. He knows exactly what you're talking about, and it sounds ridiculous, okay? So later on, she goes and meet up with Brandon. Okay, I'm looking at them right now. She meets with Brandon and she tells him, "Well, I met with Roger Bob, and I gave him some ideas, but I kind of scratched the parody out. I'm just thinking about, doing a TV show on a young lady who is really trying to step out there, and she mentions the twirl thing again, and just trying to get, her business and stuff started, whatever it is, her career started." And I'm like, Kenya, why didn't you tell this to Roger Bob? Okay, she was like, Roger Bob is, no help. I keep sending him emails, and he keeps saying, "Sorry, we're busy. Sorry, we're busy." He ended up telling her at the end of the meeting that he couldn't really help her that much because he was going to be in LA working on 2 TV shows. Okay, so he curved her right there. I would too. You don't come to a business meeting. This is serious. You really want to step back into acting. You need to be serious. You don't need to be playing around with fake concepts and stuff. All right, come correct, Kenya. All right, so next is y'all, my notes will not pop up. The internet is just acting so slow. Next is Portia. Okay, no, we ain't gonna go to Portia. We're gonna go to Claudia. Next is Claudia, and Claudia is, she's at her place or whatever. She invites Derek J over, and Derek J got some wigs for Claudia because Claudia is going to Dish Nation party, which they are basically, it's like a welcoming party for Portia, even though Claudia didn't already dog Portia out on the last episode. So hold on, y'all. So she ends up, like, I want to look right. I want to come correct. I am a part of the Ricky Smiley family. So I will be coming to the Dish Nation party. And I'm like, okay, whatever. She ends up finding some wig. I don't know why. Why not just wear your real hair? You really don't need a wig. She talking about she don't want Portia snatching her wig off. He was like, well, if you know what she does it, your hair gonna be pressed underneath, so you're gonna be looking right either way. What, Claudia? After that last episode, I have not been feeling Claudia, y'all. Anyway, so Portia goes out to lunch or whatever with Nene to invite her to the Dish Nation party, and Nene's like, Portia, I cannot go. I'm studying for Broadway. I gotta go to New York soon. And she ends up talking about everybody who's invited. She said, I believe that my publicist invited Claudia. Okay, but that was before the whole Puerto Rico trip, so I would hope that she would not show up right now. I'm really sick of these women. And then he was like, yeah, I'm just done with the negativity. I really don't have time to be dealing with people with all this negative energy. I just want to deal with people that are doing positive things, okay? And I just want to be positive. And I feel it though. And so Portia starts talking about how Cynthia, I don't even know what Cynthia's problem is, okay? She just dried up. Her husband just used all her money, okay? And for all his businesses, and it never worked, okay? She just dried up. And as for Claudia and Kenya, child, okay, they are legs spread from here, all right? That's all they do. So they don't really need to be talking about anybody. And Nene was like, yeah, and it's just like they are in their 40s and they have never been married. Like, what kind of woman are you for a guy not to not wife you in? And if it's up to them, child, they gonna say that, oh, we don't want to be married. But it's a lie. She's right. So next is Candy. Candy and Ty is in the office, alright? I mean, not in the office, they're in the kitchen. He's telling her, oh, you look good, your diet. She like, this diet ain't really working like that. He was like, well, look, it's been coming. I think that we knew this was going to come, but look. She was like, what's coming? And he was like, we're going to have to cancel this tour. She was like, what? Excuse me? He was like, look, the promoter couldn't, get everything together. The shows ain't selling, and the promoter ain't got the finances together. So we're gonna have to cancel this tour. And basically, what happened, y'all? Because I remember when this happened a few months ago. What happened was they hired some promoter, and really didn't know the promoter like that or anything like that. But the promoter ended up trying to promote these shows, whatever. Wasn't really doing a good job at that, so nobody was really coming out to see the shows. And because nobody was coming out to see the shows, they didn't have the money, enough money to cover it, because they was counting on the first couple of shows to cover it. And really, I mean, they messed up, but with picking that jacked up promoter. But I mean, it's a learning experience. And on top of that, which they did not mention on the show, the promoter hired this trucking company to move the crew, all the cast and stuff, their belongings, during the tour. And the promoter had already had a balance with the trucking company before Candy and them even came along. And what happened was the promoter didn't pay the trucking company because of the tour being canceled, not because of insufficient funds. And the damn trucking company kept they stuff hostage. Everybody stuff hostage because they didn't get paid from the promoters. So Candy now, she got to go sue them. And Candy is crying like, this is horrible. How can you cancel something in 1 week? But then Todd explains to him about the whole money situation. And she was like, this is bad. People were, you know, depending on me to make this happen. And now they're going to be looking at me bad. And he was like, they're going to be looking at me bad too because my name is on it also. And she was like, no, but people got into it because I started it. Okay, they got into it before me. And now that it's canceled, they're going to be looking at me crazy. So she's crying or whatever. And he's like, well, did you background check them? Did you do your research? She's like, really, Todd? He was like, look, this is where, things that got to be taken care of. This is just a lesson. Really, Todd, what you saying is correct. It's just not the right time. When she is sitting here crying about this is not the time to go in saying you did this wrong or we did this wrong and all that. Just let's go back to that later, okay? Let's soothe your wife now, comfort your wife now, and then come back to that later. Anyways, so they end up going to talk to Candy's team about it, which is Don Juan, Cam, and I believe Johnny. And they tell them that, look, the tour is canceled. They like, what? And she was like, the tour is canceled. The promoters, wasn't selling any shows like that, and they don't have the money to continue the tour. And they was like, wow, and Don Juan gonna say, you know what? Bertha told me about this. And he gonna say, Todd, it was a scheme that Todd set up for you to come at us with the bullshit. And I just bust out laughing. If y'all remember on Candy's wedding, they show a clip Bertha with her little conspiracy theory about why the mamas is arguing. It's because Todd done put some scheme, some setup together, whatever. But they're laughing. They cracking up laughing right now. Candy and Todd is sitting there soaking. They do not see that as funny at all. So Candy was like, this is serious, I've been crying about this. I'm getting sick because I've been crying so much about this. And he was like, wait a minute, are you sick because you crying about this? Or are you sick because of something else? And she looked at him like, I'm sick because it is. And he was like, okay. They was like, Cam was like, what's her name? Cameron. Not Cameron. Oh shit, I can't even think of that. Cam was like, you know what, it's gonna be Todd fought again, a little swimmers. And they just steady cracking jokes, and Todd and Candy is sitting there looking at them like, this is not funny. This is not funny at all. Well, I ain't gonna lie, it was funny for us to sit there and watch them crack jokes. But anyway, so after that, I still can't see my notes, y'all. After that, who else is? Phaedra goes to Quiet from Married to Medicine. She goes to see Quiet's husband to talk to him and get some advice about taking her boys to go see Apollo, whether she should do it or not. And he's like, you know what? You should, because you don't want your sons not to have a father in their life, and then they be also looking at you crazy, like, why didn't you go take us to see daddy? And she, in her confession, she's like, of course I'm not gonna go take my sons in a room full of murderers and rapists and molesters and all that. And I'm like, okay, if you knew you wasn't gonna do that, what was this whole scene about? This was just for camera time? Hmm? Anyway, so he also asked him how's things going at home. What is he like? And she was like, well, he's erratic. He's been a little crazy lately. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit more later on. What else happened? Oh, Portia's party. So Claudia comes there in this black wig. I don't know if it was the best for her. And she shows up, and this is when I find out that this is party is dedicated to Portia. And I'm like, okay, why would you come to this party? Why would you do that? Are you trying to mess up her night? Or is it that Bravo let Portia go? Okay, they knew back then that they let Portia go as her peach. And might as well put Claudia in it so we can get some type of film of this, huh? Is that what it was? So Portia's people, like her aunts, whatever it was, that and her mom, they all sitting at this one table. They see Claudia come in. I think one of her aunts was like, "Oh, that's the old wicked city woman right there." "Oh, that's so country." Oh my gosh. It's funny. It's so funny. I haven't heard anybody say anything about being a city woman or a city anything for a long time. That was just funny to me. And I consider Atlanta as a city. Now, Metro Atlanta, okay, the little Marietta, all that is the country to me. But Atlanta is the city. So that was funny to me. Anyways, Claudia decides she want to talk to Portia because she's not the type of person to wait on a conversation. She got to get out right then. Why would you come to this lady's event and then decide, okay, we want to talk about being cordial and stuff because of the problems we had in the past? Why would you do that, Claudia? So Claudia calls Portia over, and she was like, you know what? We work together. And Portia's like, in passing, she was like, but still, we still see each other every day. And I mean, why not, just be cordial? Yes, we had our little moment on the bus or whatever, but let's get past that. And Portia's like, look, I just want positive people, and she getting that whole Nene speech. I just want positive people in my life, and really, I don't have to be cordial with you. We don't really deal with each other like that. We don't have to be around each other like that, and, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And Claudia's like, oh, so you don't want to be cordial. She was like, I really don't see the need for it because you're not in my life. And Claudia ends up getting a little irritated by that. She was like, well, I don't understand why you're acting like this. And Portia's like, well, what you said on the bus was like really unforgivable. Okay, and it was uncalled for. And she was like, really? So you a hypocrite right now? And she's in her confessionals like, so all the things that you said about me, like that wasn't unforgivable. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Portia did not say anything about Claudia. Okay, Claudia's whole reason, and she says it on here. I don't like it when she laughed at me when they was talking about me not having a car, and she's around here driving this Rolls Royce that she keeps claiming is paid for, but she didn't pay for it. Claudia, you sound real jealous. Okay, Portia did not say anything about you. She laughed at some jokes. Get over it. It's life. Plenty of people laugh at jokes. Get over it. I don't even understand why you mad. So Claudia is a little butthurt about it. And they start Portia is really trying to get up from the table. And she was like, look, I don't care what kind of information you think you have, or you heard from somebody, you Google, whatever like that. It really doesn't matter. I just don't want to sit here and talk about this. You're not going to take me out of my, my setup, my little hookup at my event. And she gets up away and walks from Claudia. She gets up and walks away from Claudia. Claudia, gone somewhere. Get some business. Okay? Because it wasn't even called for. Like, really, what was your whole purpose? Anyways, let's get to the end of this. Phaedra, her mama comes by, and her mama wants to know what's going on. Phaedra's like, you know what? Apollo's about to go to jail in a week, okay? And he's been drinking and stuff for some months, but lately he's been punching the walls and cussing and kicking things, and he done went ahead and told me that he was gonna burn down the house. And her mom was like, all right now, I done heard this before. Okay, what I need you to do is get your stuff, pack, and we gonna leave. Cause I don't need to come home one night and you dead. Okay, and everybody in the house is dead. I don't need to. Sorry, y'all, my phone ringing. I don't need to come home to this. All right, so we need to leave. Okay, and whatever he do to himself is what he do. That's on him. And I'm like, wow. But I mean, I don't know. I don't see Apollo going that far. Okay, but then again, I don't know him. Maybe, maybe not. But that's it for this. Next week is when Apollo comes to the house pissed off right before he go to jail. So we're gonna talk about that. That's it. Thanks for watching. 1K subscriber gift giveaway. You must like, share, and subscribe. And y'all, take care. Bye.